Friday Night Live with Cat Carter. Get ready, set, let's go. Come on. It's Friday night. It's Friday Night Live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night with Cat Carter. It's Friday night. Hey. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Yeah. It's Friday night with Cat Carter. It's Friday night. It's Friday Night Live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night with Cat Carter.
Hey, welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Cat Carter. How is everybody doing on this Friday? Oh, MG. It has been a week for me. OMG, it's been a week for me. Ooh, that rhymes. Ooh, yes. All right. Well, this is the most fun part of the week for me because this is a time where we get to do ministry and encourage people and meet new artists. And so I look forward to Friday Night Live and spending it with my Friday Night Live family. So just a little cleanup. We are still displaced in the hotel, but it looks like the insurance company is I put a little fire under the insurance company. So hopefully it won't be too much longer before we can move back in our house. We're doing fine. The cats are a little restless, but we are doing fine. All right. So Friday Night Live is a positive platform where we come to inform, innovate, and inspire. Yes. And if you are here tonight, I went all the way down to the Boogie Down Bronx. That's where I went. That's where I went. Brian Barzey. Wait, I'm sorry. Thomas Barzey is in the house. So his name is Thomas Brian Barzey, but we call him Brian. Yes, and he's part of the family. All right. Cheryl, can you pass me the things on the printer? Y'all pray. Pray my strength in the Lord. Pray my strength in the Lord. All right. As there's nothing else over there?
What else do you need? There's so much over here. I don't know what you need.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much.
It is going on today. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Brian, he's a renowned author. And I believe that you all are going to be blessed by what you all hear tonight. So I'm going to bring him on. I don't know what girl. Let me bring you on. I'm bringing you on right now. Put Brian on for me, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, Brian. Hey, Thomas. How are you?
Brian is another person. He's somewhere around. So I'll tell him you said hello.
Tell him I said hello.
I'll tell him you
Okay,
said
I want
hello.
to read. This is what I was looking for. I wanted to tell them a little bit about you, so I'm going to read it right quick. So
Okay.
Thomas Barzey was born and raised in the Bronx. See, I told you I went down to the boogie down Bronx.
Sure did.
It's also considered the village of Harlem in New York City, which is the second home where he was raised as well. Harlem was the first place his grandfather, who came here from the Caribbean, has started the American dream for the family, and it went forward from there. He is semi retired, but he loves to write, and he started back in 2017. He is also an author on his spare, an actor. You know what? You know, I knew you'd be acting and stuff. I knew you had some kind of skills, and yeah.
Yeah, I got some.
Um, on in his spare time, and he's been doing that since 2011. But today, we're going to be talking about your amazing new, kind of new,
Kind of
uh,
new. Yeah,
literary book called Coronavirus Haiku.
right.
Did I say that correct?
You said
Correct.
it correct. You
All
got
right.
it.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So we are honored to have you on here, Brian. We've never had someone that had written a haiku on here, so you are going down in the FNL Hall of Fame. This is our first haiku.
Mhm.
Can you please explain to people like what is a haiku? Is that different from other literature, or tell us about that?
Okay, a haiku is a type of short form of poetry that originated in Japan. Um, Basically, it can how can I explain? Haiku consists of three phrases composed of 17 phonetics, which is similar to syllables in the form of 5, 7, 5, which include a cutting word. Like right now, I could speak a haiku right now, saying that okay, my first line would say, on this Friday evening, with hostess Cat Carter of Twitch, Coronavirus Haiku Book.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you just gave me my own personal haiku.
There you go.
Oh, I
There,
got it on.
Ah, suck at
there
it.
you go. There you go. Okay?
All right. So, is this the first time you've ever done a haiku? Is this your first
Yes,
project?
this is the first. Yeah, this is the first project. Yeah, first time ever. And basically, it all started back in March of 2020. I belong to the Writers Workers School, which is part of Penn America. Penn America began in 1922. Penn meaning poetry, essay, and novel. And then the Writers Workers School began its program in 2011. I didn't begin until 2017.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to fast forward.
Okay.
In March of 2020, when this whole nightmare of a pandemic started,
Oh, that's when they shut us down.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, we went to class. It was the first Saturday of each month that we met. And that particular Saturday, our editor, Mark Nowak, gave us a prompt, and he said, being that we're in a pandemic at this time, to come up with haikus about the coronavirus. And we did that. And matter of fact, usually we would meet about an hour and a half, and that day he cut it short to about an hour because of all situation that was going on. He sent us home early that day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that evening, this is when my crisis started. I remember coming home, getting something to eat, and I didn't have much of an appetite. Like, okay, usually, I'm able to finish a meal. I couldn't finish the meal. I had to wait till the next day to actually finish the meal.
Mm-hmm.
So going on, I noticed that I'm coming home in the evenings, and I'm going right to bed. I'm so tired. So I'm like, what's going on? So It was like in the middle of the week. It was on a Wednesday, as a matter of fact. The Wednesday evening around, I say about quarter to 10 around that time. I usually get ready to watch a show called Chicago PD. In fact, my brother had texted me telling me that it was coming on. And before the show even came on, I sat where I'm at right now, matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
I started feeling funny. And all of a sudden, everything just got dark and started closing in. Next thing I knew, I passed out. When I came to, I was like,
You
whoa,
passed out?
yeah, yeah. Just passed out just like that. And when I came to, I remember I was sweating a little bit. And at that moment, I went and got a glass of cold water and I felt a little bit better. Fast forward, we go to a couple of days later. I think it was like on a Friday. I still wasn't feeling right. And I remember having a conversation with my sister. She said, "Why don't you call your doctor and see if if you take an appointment?" And at that point, he wasn't taking no appointments till that Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Then I decided to go to urgent care, which was on a Saturday. When I went to the urgent care on that Saturday, the doctors came. They checked me. They checked for COVID, took blood. About 10 or 15 minutes later, one of the doctors came back to me and said that I had a flu. That just to go home and take some vitamin C and I should be fine. Fast forward, we go from that Saturday to Monday. I still wasn't feeling right. Then we go to Tuesday morning. As soon as I got up that morning, I went to the bathroom. When I went to the bathroom, my urine was coming out red. So I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
That's serious.
That was right. It was serious. So right away, I said, you know what? Let me go back to urgent care and see what they say. And I got there. They took another COVID test, took more blood. About okay, they asked me to wait outside for a few. In about 20 minutes or so, the doctor came to me and said, "Mr. Barzey, there's nothing we can do for you. You have to go to the emergency." So right away, I knew this was serious. Got in the cab, went to emergency. I got to emergency. Normally, an emergency room is inside in a hospital. At
Right.
the time, the emergency was right outside in a tent. And mind you, this is March.
Wait,
And
the emergency room was outside. Oh, because they had so many people in
yeah,
they didn't have room and they were making I heard of that. They were
yeah,
using parking garages, they were
yeah.
using whatever they could use to put
You,
extra beds. I remember that. Okay.
right, right. So the emergency was right outside in the tent. So when I came in, they told me to have a seat. They had me wait. I think I waited for maybe about an hour or two. The first doctor came to check me. When the doctor checked me, she checked my temperature, and I was running about 102 fever.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. So then at that point, she gave me some water because I knew I was feeling kind of dehydrated. And mind you, I didn't have anything to eat all day, not one meal, because basically I didn't even have an appetite. So she gave me some water, and then she gave me some Tylenol.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had me sit down, had me wait.
They were trying to get
Oh,
that fever down.
right, right. So while I'm waiting, people that are there, I mean, tons of people. I see people flatline. I see people die right in front of my own eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, um, it took a couple hours till a doctor finally came to see me. When the doctor came, they said they would have to take some chest X-ray. So they told me that I would have to be naked from waist up. I couldn't have
Mm-hmm.
anything on. Mind you, again, this is
It's
20
cold.
temperature. I said to the doctor, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yeah, there's nothing we could do. You have to do this, to find out what's going on." So they did the chest X-rays, and then they had me go back, put on my shirt and my coat, and had me wait. So okay, when I got there, it was about 2 o'clock that afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't leave the emergency room till about 9 o'clock. When the doctor came back, I said, "Well, I hope I don't have to stay here tonight, you know." And he said, "No, you don't." He said, "No, you don't have to stay. You have to. You be able to go home." So he gave me a form for prescriptions for medication, to get that evening. So I went, got in the cab, stopped at the drugstore, got the prescriptions, got back in the cab. The cab took me home. When I got home, I remember I made some chicken noodle soup because that was the first meal I had for that whole day. And then I just, went to sleep. Okay, we fast forward. This is Tuesday evening. We fast forward to Thursday. That Thursday afternoon, I got a call from the hospital where I was at for the emergency, and the doctor said that I had COVID.
Yeah,
COVID. Yeah.
they did
Oh,
one of those tests that took a couple of days to find
yeah.
out. They did
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
yeah, they
Because
did the
when I was in the emergency, they told me I had pneumonia.
pneumonia is just as scary. You can
Scary,
that's
right?
serious too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's serious too. But then when they called me 2 days later, they told me I had COVID and that I had to quarantine for the next 14 days. Those first 2 weeks, wow, wow. I remember having sleepless nights and just sleeping in the day. I felt like a vampire, no appetite. All I could basically do is just drink water, 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 water. And the medication I was taking didn't really, really help, But I remember one of the medication did clear up the urine part, because about a week
Hmm.
later, my urine was back to its normal color. But I still didn't have much of an appetite. I remember and I remember in the mornings, getting up and just hearing the news about all the people that are just dying left and right, and I said, "Oh God, no, I can't deal with this." So,
It was a scary
right,
time.
right, right. At that moment, I just turned off the news, and basically for me, what really cured me was just hearing music,
Yeah.
just hearing music, and another thing that really helped me. A lot of people are not really into like herbal remedies. I took turmeric. I remember taking turmeric. I also remember taking lemon ginger tea, and what else? And just drinking soup most of the time. All I could do is just drink soup. I couldn't really eat anything solid until maybe about a week or so later, and then I started to feel better. Now, after the 14-day quarantine was up, I still wasn't feeling right. I was getting up in the mornings with headaches. I'm like, oh, And I remember taking Tylenol after Tylenol after Tylenol just to get rid of these headaches.
Wow.
Yeah. So finally, eventually I became, I got a little bit better, but I wasn't 100% better. I was home for 23 days. After the 23rd day, I said, I gotta go out. This is driving me crazy being home. So when I was finally able to go out, I remember walking around, and it was basically like a ghost town.
Ghost town. Yeah.
It was basically a ghost town. I remember going down to the mall, and everything was shut down, shut down. Not a person in sight. That's how bad this coronavirus
Yeah, it
was.
was some scary times. Like
Yeah.
I think they shut us down. I think it was March, and I didn't go back to work in office until I think January.
Oh,
It was a long,
yeah.
long time.
Right. It was a long time.
Yeah.
So anyway, what was it? In May, well, it took me 3 weeks to get an appointment to see what was going on as far as the virus. Because I remember calling my doctor, and my doctor at the time, they weren't seeing no patients. Everything was shut down with them. The only thing that was open was urgent care. And you had to, in order to see the urgent care, you had to make an appointment. And I wasn't able to get an appointment for 3 weeks or so.
Hmm.
I finally did get an appointment. I went, and they told me that I had everything was going good. That I had the antibodies, and It should the antibodies at that time when they were telling people would last 6 months. Guess what?
You still had the antibodies.
3 years later.
Wow.
3 years later. I've had 6 antibodies tests since March of 2022. And each time I took an antibodies test, it came out
You're
still.
still there.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still there.
You are a walking miracle, and you definitely don't look like what you've been through. So, is this what inspired you to go on ahead and write the haiku? Like, just, I mean, that made it even probably more
Mhm.
wow. I mean, because you're dealing with a serious personal experience.
Right, right, right. Well, what inspired me to do it, again, it goes back to the editor of the book, who's Mark Nowak. We couldn't meet in person after that March meeting, so they started Zoom meetings, and they
Mm-hmm.
started meeting, but twice, 2 Saturdays in every month. The first 2 Saturdays, I couldn't meet with them because I couldn't really talk. Because once you talk a lot, you use up a lot of energy.
Your lungs.
Right,
Because when
right,
I was going through that
mm,
thing in December when I was in hospital, like I'd get worn out. Like
right.
just talk. Yeah, your
Just
lungs. You had,
talking,
yeah,
just I remember when people would call me, I would tell them, please just text me. Don't call me because I
yeah.
can only talk.
Text.
Yeah, just text me. So when I finally was able to get back into the workshop, it wasn't until May. I remember sending an email to the editor telling him my situation, and he told me that if I wasn't up, to come into the class, just don't worry about it. And I said, yeah, I'm going to make it to this class because I think just seeing people just really, get my energy and my spirit, up and whatnot. And finally, yeah, we met, and that's when the editor decided for us to write haikus about our experience with the coronavirus.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think like even like with music,
Mm-hmm.
when you're writing things and it comes from a place of experience, it gives it more power. It gives it
Right.
more anointing. It gives it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just different. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you've
Yeah.
gone through it and you can share it.
Music is basically medicine.
Yes. Soul Taker. Hey, Soul Taker. Soul Taker's on here, and that's exactly what he said. Music is medicine. Yes, he
That's
did.
man, two things: music and laughter. Those are the
Laughter. Laughter is good.
biggest medicine that anyone could have. Not
Mm-hmm.
medication is not going to work all the time, but medicine, music and laughter, and that's what got me through
Yeah.
the
And
COVID.
the majority of the time, medicine just takes care of the symptoms. Sometimes it doesn't cure what's going on. It just
No, it doesn't.
helps you feel better, takes
Right,
care of those symptoms. So
right,
I
right.
agree. Music,
Yeah,
music, and what else did you say? Laughter.
and
Mm,
laughter.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
if anyone, and I could tell anybody else also, herbal medication helps. I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but I believe in it faithfully. I believe in taking herb and just eating right.
Mm-hmm.
Eating right. If you eat right and just cut out. Basically, I've cut out the dairy, the red meat, the pork, and I've been doing fine.
Yeah. I
Very.
have a uncle that went. He has a. I think he has his doctorate in herbal medicine,
Okay.
osteopathology.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I do. I agree. Like when I do eat better, when I
Right.
juice or I eat more fruits and vegetables,
Right.
I do feel better. I sleep better.
Right.
I'm able to concentrate better. So I do believe. I do believe that food is a major. Um, it can be a major corporate when you don't have good health if you're not
Right.
eating
Right.
good.
Right.
Eating well, eating
Eating well.
healthy. So I do agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do
And
agree.
when you come to the quote unquote hood, there's not a lot of health food places in the hood.
No, it's not. And most of the healthy food is a lot pricier than the junk.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah. Well,
especially now.
you know what you could do too. You could wait until you catch yourself. Okay, there's a store here in New York. It's called Stop and Shop. And what I always do, I always wait till the health food stuff prices drop, and
Mm-hmm.
I go and pick up what I can get at that moment. So
Mm-hmm.
no problem from there.
Yeah, Amy says, and drink a lot of water.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right here.
Is that your water? Okay.
Right
All right.
here. And it's funny. Every
Wow.
time I've done Zoom meetings, I always have a jug of water in front of me. Just in case. Because when you
Mm-hmm.
talk a lot, your mouth gets dry, and then
Yeah,
you want that drink of water. Just to help you get through and whatnot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Florida Stan is on here. He said he has a copy of your book,
Hmm.
your haiku book with your entries in there.
Yes.
And you all stay tuned because at the end we're going to get well, I almost said Brian again. We're going to get Thomas to uh, read his haiku for us. Where can we find Where can we find your book? Do you have a copy with you that
Yeah.
you
I
can
do.
show on the screen?
Hmm.
Wait, let me make it big. Wait,
Okay.
there it is, y'all. There it is. There it is. Where is that? Where did you get that cover? What is that cover? What is that a
Well,
cover of?
the editor of the book, Mark Nowak, he thought of this cover. Yeah, he thought of this cover, and I remember him presenting it to us, asking us our opinion, and most of us agreed, and he went with it. Yeah, he went with it. This is the back.
Okay.
Yeah, he went with it. So.
So, all of the people that wrote haikus in there, they were affected in some way or another.
Well, I was the only one that was affected, believe it or not. I was the only one
Wow.
that was affected. The 12 other authors, they weren't affected at all. I remember one of the members, she got affected a year later. Her name is Christine Lewis. In fact, she was the one that told me about the Workers Writers School because she started from its beginning in 2011. And
Mm-hmm.
she got affected where she was hospitalized for oof, about 3 weeks. She wasn't able to walk, and she was. I think they were feeding her intravenously, giving her all this garbage. How hospitals are. They don't give you, you know, giving all this garbage stuff. And I remember her mentioning how her friends would come up and send up fruits and um, how you call it, regular food, good food for her to eat. And she was saying how for her to walk, she had to actually get out of the bed and learn how to walk on her own. The doctors didn't want her to get out of bed. They told her if she kept getting out of the bed, she wouldn't walk no more. And determination made her get up and walk, and she's walking today.
Praise the Lord for that. I
Yes.
do believe that doctors are here for a reason, and they are practicing medicine. They are
Mm-hmm.
practicing medicine, but I know that they are here for a specific reason. But I do believe God has the last say in
Yes,
your
he does.
situation, and I'm so
He
grateful that
does.
He does.
Yes, he
Um, and I'm so grateful that you were strong enough to come through
right.
your situation and be able to share it with us. I had no idea it was all of that. My goodness,
Yeah, yeah,
that was a lot.
yeah. It was a lot. It was a
And
lot.
I know that was a scary time. I mean, like that was
Yeah,
probably you were probably like the way I felt
yeah.
in January. I felt like I was in a valley of the shadow of death. There was just
Mhm.
so much stuff going on, and I
Right.
hear you. Like during that time, I'm not
Mhm.
trying to watch no. I'm
No,
not trying to
no,
watch no mess on TV or
no.
nothing. I just need to meditate,
Yeah.
listen to me, whatever I feel like I need to do.
Even
So
today, if you watch TV today, there's nothing wrong. It's a lot. It's a lot of God.
mess.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's nothing on TV. You turn, you're like, mm-mm. For
Yeah,
me now, I could sit watch sports, watch an old movie, and I'm good to go.
yeah, yeah,
I'm good to go. Right now, I stream. I stream for everything. I stream, and basically, you get more for streaming than what you would get for cable or direct TV because you're paying what $200, and all you're doing is watching the same stuff 3, 4 times a day. It doesn't make sense.
I wish I could. I did have time to watch TV like that. My schedule, I don't
Yeah.
get a chance to watch TV like that. I'll get a chance to
You're
watch.
not missing anything. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You're not missing nothing. You're
yeah.
not missing nothing.
So,
Mm-hmm.
we need to spotlight an artist. And what I wanted to do, I know that you're good friends with Tony Smith.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that do not know Tony Smith, he's well known in um, the New York area. He used to be a radio announcer, from what I understand, a well known radio announcer. And now he is on Twitch. I got a chance to meet him through Kevin Moore. Y'all know how I feel about Kevin Moore. I met uh, I met Tony through Kevin Moore, and it was through I had a technical issue with this platform, and Tony actually came on, and with him and Kevin, they helped me figure it out, and that's how I met Tony. But he's on Twitch. He has several shows. He does reggae, he does gospel, he does fusion, he does. Is there anything he doesn't do? He does tech talk. I mean, he does it all.
Mm-hmm.
And so, since you all are really good friends, I wanted to make him one of my spotlight artists today. So we're going to listen to Tony. I believe this is Wade in the Water. I believe that's what it is. And then we'll be right back on the other side to talk to Thomas Barzey. All right. So, Thomas, you take a little break, breather, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's see. I have no volume. Okay. Let us see. Um, Let me get Brian back on.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're having some technical difficulties with
Mm-hmm.
that video. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm going to try to download it again while we're talking.
Okay.
And then maybe we can get it towards the end.
Okay.
I believe that's the one where he was with the Bobby Jones Gospel. Remember
Yeah.
Bobby Jones used to come on, I believe it was Sundays. I used to watch him.
Yeah.
Um, and so this is one where he was on the Bobby Jones show. So we'll try again towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
So was your experience alone the only thing that inspired you to write the haiku?
Um, Not really. I could mention my brother who passed in 2021. He was also an inspiration of me writing the book because at that time he wasn't doing too well. He was suffering. He was suffering with COPD for the last 10 years. He's a Vietnam vet, and at that time, I think it was in March of 20. Yeah, March of 20. No, let me rewind. He decided to get the vaccine, and the first time he went and got the vaccine, he couldn't get it because he had an attack of um, breathing difficulties. So
Mm-hmm.
the second time he decided he wanted to go, he asked me to take him, and I said to him, I said, Wayne was his name. Wayne, I said, I don't think I could go because I don't want to deal with no hospital with the patients and what, especially in what I went through with the virus. So then he said, okay. He would ask his home aide to go, and all I would have to do was just drive the car and drive him and the aide over to the VA hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That morning when I was driving him, he had another attack. So he asked me to pull over. And I remember his aide was working with him, as far as because he used to walk around with an oxygen tank, to use for the breathing. And he was having just crazy breathing issues. And I asked him at one point, I said, are you sure you want to go to this hospital? He said he had to do it. So I didn't say anything. So
Mm-hmm.
finally he was able to, get himself together, and I drove, went to the VA hospital. Him and his own home aide, they went in, and I stayed in the car. It must have been about maybe about 3 hours or so. I'm waiting. So I'm kind of concerned. So finally, I get a call from his aide, and his aide tells me that my brother had to be rushed to the emergency. He had,
Oh no.
yeah, he had an attack. So then I said, did he get vaccinated? She said, no, he didn't get vaccinated. She said he was just sitting there, and right there the doctors was observers, and he looked okay, and
Mm-hmm.
that they weren't going to keep him. He stayed. I think he stayed there for about an hour or so, and then finally they let him go. So finally, I took him home. I stayed with him a couple of hours, and I asked him, "You okay?" He said, "Yeah, I'm fine." Okay. Fast forward a month later, he calls me and he tells me that he got the vaccine. I said, "Okay." So then I said, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Any pain, anything like that?" He said, "Well, he felt a little sore, but nothing to really worry about." About a week later, my sister went to North Carolina, and while she was in North Carolina, I think it was the Monday after Easter, she had called me, and she asked me if I spoke to our brother, and I said no. I said we were texting each other over that weekend, and she said she had spoke to him that Good Friday, and he wasn't looking well, and that he had called her the following Saturday and told her that he wasn't doing well at all. So I said, okay, I'll give him a call and see how he's coming along. When I gave him a call, he said he was a little better, but he didn't really want to stay on the phone that long. So I said, okay. He said he'd get back to me later. About an hour or so later, his girlfriend calls me. And his girlfriend says, did I speak to him? And I said, yeah, we spoke about an hour or so. She said he called her and told her that he had to call emergency, so they had to rush him to the emergency hospital. So right away, I called his son and his daughter. And his daughter was trying to, track down, where he was at, because all that time we thought he was at the VA hospital. They took him to another hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So the following night, I was able to speak to his doctor, and the doctor told me that. Well, actually, I asked him what was the prognosis, and the doctor told me that he had contacted COVID. I was like, what? I said, how could he have contacted COVID, and he was just vaccinated about a week and a half or so ago? And the doctor goes, well, it's one of those things, maybe he may have gone out and interacted with somebody who had COVID, and the person may have gave him the COVID. I said, well, my brother lived in a senior home. He didn't go anywhere. The most he go, the most he would go was outside. He would sit outside and get fresh air, and that was it. So when he was in that hospital, in order to see him, you had to take a COVID test every 7 days. So at that time I didn't go to see him. So finally he was, I think about maybe a week or so later, he was improving, but not a whole lot. He was able to talk and whatnot. And then I remember his son called me and told me that they was gonna transfer him to a nursing home. When they did transfer him to a nursing home, I think it was the first night, he must have got out of bed and he was disoriented and he must have fell. So then they had to rush him to another hospital. When they rushed him to the next hospital, his breathing got worse.
Oh my
Finally,
gosh.
finally they had to do a what you call a trach, where they put that
Tracheotomy.
a trach, where they put that in his neck, so he would be able to breathe. So then I remember my sister coming to me and she said, do you want to go and see him? Because there was no COVID test or nothing done at this hospital.
Yeah.
And at first I was kind of hesitant, knowing that he had COVID. And I said, you know what? I'm going to put this in God's hand. Whatever happens is going to happen. We both went to see him, and when you go, you got to put on all what they call it, all that what they call it, PPE,
That protective,
the
personal
protective,
protective equipment.
right,
Yeah,
right,
the
you know,
gloves. I mean, the
gloves,
gowns, the
gowns, all of that,
mask, all that stuff. Yeah.
right, to see him. And
Wow.
I mean, to see him in the hospital like that, it's like, you know. And finally, he was able to talk to the doctor, and the doctor looked at his chart, and she couldn't believe that he had the COPD for 10 years. Got the life expectancy for COPD is 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and he made it out to 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, made it out to 10 years, and then the doctor told the both of us that she didn't think he was going to make it. So
I'm so sorry.
yeah, so the following week, which was the Memorial Day, that Monday Memorial Day, I got a call from his daughter that morning around 10 o'clock, and she told me that he had passed away.
Wow.
So,
Who was the oldest? Was
yeah,
it your oldest brother?
I have two older brothers.
Okay.
I have two older. One was born 1946. This Wayne was born in 1947, and I'm the third, and then I have a baby sister.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
baby sister.
right. Wow. So you had a lot going on before you had to write that haiku. Wow. Wow. Wow.
A lot. Yeah.
I'm
And
so sorry about that.
it's through him why I decided that I wasn't going to get vaccinated. You know,
Yeah.
so even though he had the COPD, he wouldn't have lasted long with the COPD. You know, he would have eventually leave us. You know, at any point. But we believe that by him getting vaccinated, it just sped up the process.
Wow. Yeah. COVID took a lot of people.
It did.
And we're so sorry for your loss. And thank
Yeah.
you for the courage of sharing that with us. I want to try Tony again.
Mhm.
I have another video. I'm going to try this and see if it works. So let's see if this
Okay.
works, Brian.
Just click on this.
right. So that was Tony Smith. Ooh. Yeah, that was Brian. That was a classic. Jesus Christ is the way. You remember that song?
Mm-hmm.
I remember singing that in the choir, at
Mm-hmm.
First C
Yeah.
choir.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Yes, yes, yes. All right. So before Tony, we were talking about Thomas Barzey. He has a haiku entitled Coronavirus Haiku. And he was explaining to us his inspirations on how um, that helped him to write this haiku. And we learned some of the challenges that he had when we were actually going through the pandemic. So, Brian is back. Thank you so much, Brian, for sharing and
Thank you.
sharing all of that. Oh my gosh, that was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
I wanted to give you the opportunity to give some shout outs.
Oh,
Do you have any shout outs for anybody on here today?
yeah, I could give a shout out. Of course, my family, my friends, my Twitch family. Um, I'd like to give a shout out to the Writers Workers School, Mark Nowak, Kenning Editions for publishing the book. And I'd like to give a shout out to I should say a happy heavenly birthday to my mom's
Yeah.
who would have been 99 years old today.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
she would have been 99 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
Karan, my moderator on Twitch, and
Mhm.
my daughter right here, Cheryl, on Facebook and YouTube,
Mhm.
they're putting where we can purchase the
Mhm.
book. I see Amazon on there, but it is also available at Barnes and Noble, right?
Mhm. Right, right. And I also have another link you could use as well if you need it.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I also have a link, another link
Okay.
that you can use if, if anyone wants to purchase the book.
Okay. Okay. I can get that for you. And then I will put the information on my Friday Night Live Facebook page for those of you that are interested in purchasing
Mm-hmm.
the book and supporting Thomas. Um, all right. So I think we're at the time where we want to hear the haiku.
Okay, sure.
Would you believe there's only 10 minutes left? The show is almost over. That went fast.
It did go quick.
You did most of the talking. But
But
those are the
I
best
can
type of
talk.
interviews. The
Yeah,
best. I don't need to do all the talking. You
right,
a
right.
good interviewer lets the
The
interviewee
interviewee do
talk,
all the
right? And you follow. Yeah, that. Yeah,
yeah. I could
yeah.
talk. So I could talk when I could talk. So
I
I could
see.
I could be quiet at some point.
Good lord.
When
No, I'm just
when
playing.
I'm ready to talk, I'm the gift of gab.
I'm just playing.
That's
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna read a few. I'm not gonna read all of them because I know
Okay.
how much time do we have?
You just take your time. You go right
Oh,
ahead. I'll let you know when we out of town. You just go right ahead.
okay. All right.
Just let them use you.
Okay. Okay. My first haiku. Corona sickness strikes me. Not getting the normal shower. Aroma can't get worse. The next haiku. Afraid to go out. Can't let anyone know me. Please hide me. My next haiku. Corona still lingers. Most businesses remain closed. Ghostly Bronx Town Mall. Next haiku. New York to across Africa. Streets filled with mass protesters. Unjust killing of black lives. Next haiku. I am a corona survivor. It is great to be alive. This is not a hoax.
Wow.
Next haiku. Eating less meat, buying more vegetation and fruits, post corona healthy life. Next haiku. I'm going to talk about this is basically it's not dealing with the corona, but it talks about the subway line in my area.
But as I'm listening to you, it's like it was the journey. Like you're doing
Yeah,
different haikus as you go, and it's deep. Are y'all listening? I'm really like,
it's gonna,
whoa.
it's gonna get
It's
even
a few sentences, but it's saying it's a lot in there.
right. Yeah.
We
Okay. The next
revisited
hike,
a lot of stuff.
fire train in the Bronx. October leaves falling on open cut tracks. Slow, slippery ride when wet. Next haiku. Everything at risk. Social distance safety on long lines. Making my vote count.
Wow.
And last but least, this is a doozy. Yay! The bully is gone. May I please get an amen? It,
Amen.
it's fumigation time. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
That was really,
You
really
know
good.
who I was talking about,
Oh,
though.
I know exactly who you was talking to. I can't say nothing because I probably get, they'll on yeah. But yeah, I heard it. Did y'all heard it? Let's look and see who's hanging out with you, Brian, on here. Cheryl, you feel like doing some Cheryl shout outs? We got a few minutes. All right, let me get Cheryl on here. Cheryl. All right, honeybee.
Hello, hello, hello. How
Let me
y'all
turn your
doing?
mic
How
up.
y'all been?
There you
Hello,
go.
hello, hello.
Thomas, amazing work,
Thank
amazing
you.
job.
Thank you.
I'm over here revisiting my own little traumas I done incurred over the pandemic with
Right,
your
right.
haikus. I'm just saying, it's
Yeah.
just unfolding some stuff I have not quite talked to my therapist about
Okay. Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
We're speaking truth here. Um, let's see who we have here on the horn with you. First and foremost, we have our girl, our second moderator, media director, Karan Edmonds, holding it down on Twitch. We also have tuning in with you, Miss Tina Wilson, as well as Miss Bonnie Wilson, tuning in on Facebook. Good to see you as always. We have Walter D. Williams, president of the NAACP,
Mm.
Episode Chapter, tuning in with you as well on Facebook. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. We have Pastor Neil hailing from Chicago, Illinois, tuning in with you as well as on Facebook. We have Soul Taker 73 on Twitch hanging out with you. Good to see you. Good to see you. We have Miss Amy Worth on Facebook,
Mm.
one of our regulars here. Good to see you, girl. Um, we have my auntie Ada Foster. Hey,
Mm.
auntie, good to see you. On YouTube, we also have Miss Marilyn Ford, another one of our regulars tuning in. Good to see you. And we have Tea Talk Tuesdays tuning in with you on Facebook.
Mm.
Good to see you. Florida Stan on Twitch. Welcome back. Good to see you. Good to see you. Um, we have Groove Master John, another regular on Twitch. Twitch is over there popping today. They having a party, good old party over there. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. We got Trey's Beauty
Mm.
tuning in as well on Twitch. Welcome, welcome. We hope you enjoy. Um, we also have Miss Kimberly Butler coming in on Facebook. Welcome. We hope you enjoyed. Good to see you. And I think that's it.
Okay, we have some people in the Lurk Lounge, and that's fine. We
Mhm.
appreciate you for hanging out with us as well. Brian, do you have any projects coming up? Are you working on anything in the future for the future?
Not really. My nephews have told me that I should write a memoir.
A
But
memoir?
yeah, about myself. I've been jotting down little bits and pieces of notes about myself. Where I was born, my family background, and whatnot. But
I
that's
concur. That would be
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was your biggest supporter when you were doing this haiku?
Um. Okay, I'm going to say the workers' writers school. We all marched behind, supported each other. We pushed each other to do this. As a matter of fact, it was January of 2021. Our, no, it wasn't January. It was November of 2020. It was our editor who told us that Kenning Editions was interested in having us write haiku. So
Hmm.
thought of the coronavirus and what all of us had to go through. So from then on, I think each each month we just write out a haiku, and eventually it would be added to the book by that. It had to be added in the book by that January.
Okay.
I guess from November up until January, whatever haiku that we had wrote from even before that, we just jotted down, we wrote it down, and sent it to our editor, and then he would, edit certain things, and he would send it back to us, to see what needed to be corrected, and we would send in the corrections, and we sent it to him, and that was all she wrote.
Okay. All right. Um, I just want to thank you so much, Brian, for giving of your time and coming here and encouraging us, and with some of the pain and things that you have been through, and sharing the haiku. That haiku, that book is powerful. Those few sentences that you said a lot,
Yeah.
and I was really listening. And so, you all support Brian. This is his first haiku. You all support him. It's available Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and there's another link that Thomas is going to give me, that I'm going to put out on my Facebook page.
Mhm.
All right, and when time permits, if you decide, maybe next time when you come back, we'll talk about your acting.
Okay.
When time permits, we would love to have you come back and hang out
Okay.
with us on Friday Night Live again.
Okay. Cool.
Thank
Cool.
you so
Thank
much.
you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And and tell Karan thank you because
She on here. She see you. Everybody see you.
tell her thank you for asking you to come on, for asking you to ask me to come on.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, I know. I know. You know what
Yes, 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 yes.
you
All
know.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody give it up for Thomas Barzey. That's Brian from the Boogie Down
Thank
Bronx.
you, thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you.
All right. Well, you take care.
Mhm.
And we'll be talking soon, okay?
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Cheryl.
Of course. Bye.
All right. Did you all enjoy that? Brian Barzey, Thomas Brian Barzey from the Boogie Down Bronx. That's the coronavirus haiku. I never had anybody on here that talked about a haiku. That was very, very interesting. All right. So next week, you all do not want to miss my other brother. This is one of the artists that I featured in our first concert in 2020, Daryl Evan Jones, the ambassador of soul, will be in the hizzy. He is a flutist out in Tennessee who has some amazing, amazing projects. You all do not want to miss Daryl Evan Jones. He will be here next week, and I'm so excited. All right. Cheryl, you got anything you want to say? You know you're on the screen with me.
I just want to say great job again to Thomas.
Yes.
It was awesome having you, and hopefully we can have you back another time when you have some more projects coming in or whatever. Just updating you. Who knows? Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, you all have a great week. We are doing our Women's Day at Mount Joy, and I'm so excited this weekend. So I'm going to be running around with my head. Well, no, I'm not, but we're going to have a great time. So you all keep us lifted while we're displaced in the hotel, and Lord willing, we will see you all next Friday, same time, same platform. Love you guys.